We went from top five Shawn Michaels matches to top five Edge matches. I'm excited. I'm happy. Edge is actually one of he's a goat, right? He's a goat. There's so many goats. There's a list. There's
So
a
many
long list.
goats.
Yeah, but he's definitely a goat. He's about to retire, but he just celebrated 25 years. 25 years of being in the WWE, and tomorrow he makes his return as he's on the Waller effect.
To Edge.
Yeah, to empty glass orange juice. But to Edge, to Edge, we want to talk about top five. This is going to be a quick episode. We're going to go right down into it. That's what we do here at Unpopular Review. Mr. Knox, I'll actually let you start if you don't mind, please.
See, this list, right? Top five Edge matches. It's like, you said it. It's the rated R superstar. It's the Brood. It's the guy that when he first came in, a lot of people was like, boo, because of the hair and those kind of things like that. But Edge has actually been around. I think he's earned a lot of people respect. You know what I'm saying? And on top of earning people respect, I think he's gone through so many, I'm going to use the word metamorphosis and upon his career. I was never an Edge fan until he came back from the first major injury when he started pulling his hair out. And I was like, oh, that's kind of different. Like, I remember the very first episode on Raw, he pulled his hair out. I said, oh, this guy is different. But when you're picking top five, it's hard to really pick five great Edge matches. Because to me, I think he's been a part of so much history. So for me, number five, I thought it was only fair to go with the tag team division, where you had him and Brother Christian versus Jeff and Matt Hardy. And this battle, really, for Marlena to take over in this. And this ladder match propelled all four of these guys to the next level. And so I don't think you can have top five Edge matches and not include some tag team matches. So for number five for me, on this list, I got Christian and Edge versus the New Brood. That set the Attitude Era. That was Vince McMahon's swan song to the luchadors of WCW. Was those four guys right there putting on ladder matches that you just didn't really see unless you were watching ECW. And to me, where ECW did things good, when WWE took their formula, they did things amazingly great. So for me, number five, Christian and Edge. Edge and Christian. I've always thought they went Christian and Edge. I've always thought that was great because Christian's name was first. All right, I got a son named Christian. Okay. And the New Brood, Matt and Jeff Hardy. That ladder match was sick. Matter of fact, I'm going to use another word. That ladder match was sadistic. That ladder match was fucking awesome. Okay. It was just great. I'm sorry. I love that match, but I had to put it number five.
You know, it's not a bad choice. I try to go a little bit different to you. And once again, not disagreeing with any choices you said. But even with other matches we did, I try not to go with the most obvious choices. You know, shout out to him.
See, I tried my best. Did you see last week's show?
Yeah, I did.
I tried my best to pick different matches than people pick. So, but I got
you tried to because you wanted to be the same list as everybody else, and you know, more or less, you know, you were this person, the two, or three, or like that. I remember when we did the Undertaker best matches.
Oh God!
Yeah. I was trying so hard not to pick three of them Triple H matches. You know, it's tough. It's tough. Top five WrestleMania match. It's tough. So I tried. So I didn't put any of his tag team matches in.
See, I thought I had to put them there.
And for a certain extent, yes, you did, because that No Mercy match, I remember it. Hey, it spawned a whole video game. Right?
Video game.
That was the whole premise, just for Jeff Hardy falling the way he did. I remember it, you know. So yes, you have to include it. I did not, because I just wanted not to have to do the same thing. So my number five was actually one of his more recent matches. Happened in 2021. It happened in Saudi Arabia. It happened against Seth freaking Rollins in Hell in a Cell. I thought that match was phenomenal. Hey, here's a shout out. I was having a hard time picking whether or not I wanted to put this one tomorrow. I say this every single time we do this. Tomorrow could be something else. Had a hard time picking between this and this Finn Balor Hell in a Cell match. It's very hard for me to pick. I really was about to put Finn Balor. I said, no, I'm going to go get ahead and give it an edge. I mean, I'm sorry, to Seth freaking Rollins, but can be interchangeable. But this match was really, really, really good. Really enjoyable match. They also had a good match between the two of them on SmackDown in New York a couple months before that. These two had very good chemistry. SummerSlam also. But my number five, Edge versus Seth Rollins, Hell in a Cell.
Again, calling myself keeping it different, but yet the same, shall I say. if you will, Daddy. I figure like this, that when it comes to Edge in the tag team division, baby, and you go the ladder match that set the world ablaze, Daddy, you got to go with my top 5. You just said, brother, you're on this side this week. You just said, brother, that it has to be, it will be something that people are going to put. You said top 5 Mania matches. So I got to go with number 4. With the TLC, I know I got the wrong picture there. That's okay. But this match at WrestleMania 2000, Daddy, their first win as tag team champions at this time. Also, people don't know that, Daddy. Edge put on a show. This is where the people thought he said he could separate from Christian, which, by the way, I still thought Christian was a better wrestler. But hey, I'm not me. That's Ceci Rose talking. Rest in peace. And he said, Edge, you are the man, Daddy. The way your hair flew through the air like that, and you came down with you and Jeffrey Hardy. Oh, you guys are good. You guys are good. Get them boys the straps. Number 4. You see it right there. WrestleMania 2000. That to this day, like every year, I go to watch certain matches around Mania time. It's always on my list. It's always something I have to watch Mania weekend.
Once again, hey, it's one of the times where, I mean, I know everybody says that you critique and you pick apart and you try to act like it's a bad pick. I can't.
Not this time.
Top 5.
Top 5. Top 5.
Of all
top
the TLC
5
matches, and this wasn't considered
so
TLC matches. And this wasn't considered one. This was considered a triangle ladder match, is what it's called. But I still consider it a TLC match. And a couple of them say, hey, yeah, this technically was the first TLC match. This might have been my favorite, right? From bell to bell, that's what I talk about. From bell to bell action, this might have been my favorite because I think storytelling-wise, it told a better story. WrestleMania 17 is one I like too, but it wasn't really. It was the beginning really of the spot fest in that match. You know, hey, you gonna come out, leader, you gonna come out, Spike Dudley, you gonna come out.
Yeah, I didn't like the second one around. You're right.
Yeah, this one was really good. It told a story and it deserved win by Edge and Christian because they lost the first one in No Mercy. So this was actually a really good pick.
I was actually going for the Dudleys in this one, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Like I said, at this point in wrestling, I didn't have people that I hated. You know what I mean? I had outgrew that heel face love, right? Mm. And I've never been a whole heel guy. Like I hate people dabbing that. Like, it's got to be some balance. And at this point, it was like, who do you pick between these 6 gentlemen? Like you can, and hell, what 2 of the 3 tag teams were heel, honest, right? And the Dudleys and Edge and Christian. For what it's worth, but Edge and Christian were the fan favorites in this match, along with the Hardy was, I believe. But what's your number 4?
My number 4, and you talked about, you're like, who do you pick, right? Who do you pick? That's how I felt about doing this top 5. Who do you pick? I didn't want to pick the tag team matches. Thankfully, Mike Knox is doing it for me because they should be acknowledged because they were great. 1-on-1, though. A match that I think was very underrated. People do not talk about, people do not give a lot of credit for.
Was it Bell?
But it was great storyline going into the match, in my opinion. I think it ended too soon. Storyline going into the match, and the match itself I thought was great. Great American Bash 2009, I believe it was. Yes, Great American Bash 2009. It is one Triple H defending his WWE Championship against Edge in a match I thought was great. I still love it. I didn't watch it as much as I should as I watch other matches. But really, these two told a very good story in the ring. And when you think about greats, you think about matches, you really need to pay attention to the fact Triple H and Edge did not have that many matches against each other. This was their most high-profile match, and I thought it was very, very well done. Like I said, I love the storyline going in between it. This is when Alicia Fox was a wedding coordinator for Edge and Vicky Guerrero, and Triple H revealed it. They tried to do the throwback to when he, married stuff. It was just a great time. I really had a good time with this match, and I want to give a shout-out. That's my number 4. Before we get to our number 3, we brought back commercials, ladies and gentlemen, because I took them all over. Back in action. First commercial. We'll be back to discuss our number 3 and number 2. Stay with us. You're watching Unpopular Review.
Oh, my God. Orange Cassidy. Jesus Christ. This guy. Stop with this guy. Chris, do not defend this man.
Orange Cassidy might be the best champion in wrestling right now.
You got to be stopping. What?
Next to Roman Reigns or after Roman Reigns, and still arguable because Roman Reigns hasn't defended that title since WrestleMania. I think that's a little too much. But Orange Cassidy might be the best champion in any company in wrestling after Roman Reigns, in my opinion. I really am a fan of his championship run.
You trying to box me into putting over Gunther right now? Like this is why you setting me up.
I think Orange Cassidy's been on
How,
television,
Chris? How? Why? Because the guy went through a bunch of matches with who, Chris? With who? A bunch of nobodies? Name me the gauntlet that he's gone through. Go ahead, Chris.
He's had great.
Thank you. Who is Orange Cassidy put over? Go ahead, tell me.
He doesn't have to put him over. He just had to have great matches, and he did.
So okay, name 5 of them. Go ahead. Name me the 5 best matches of Orange Cassidy's run as AEW what is it called? International nobody gives a fuck championship. Go ahead. Don't Google search that shit, Chris. I know what you're up to.
I haven't Google searched yet. That's going to happen though. But I haven't Google searched yet.
Ladies and gentlemen, the boys are back together every single Monday during Raw. Believe it or not, Big Daddy Cool, the executive consultant, bring you the Unpopular Review Wrestling podcast, part of our Unpopular Review Wrestling Week, because we do it all here, baby. So please make sure that you like, love, share, and subscribe to Unpopular Review and all our subsidiary channels, whether it be the Mike Knox Show, whether it be Unofficial Camera Woman, Big Pop Podcast, all of them right here on Unpopular Review. Top 5 Edge matches, executive consultant, Mr. Mike Knox. Mr. Mike Knox, you want to tell your number 3?
Again, looking at a long career, 25 years of Edge matches. It's you may not like the order. It may not have been for you, but it's my list. It's our list. It's what he comes up with, his 5, my 5. So this may not be in your top 5, but I thought WWE during the pandemic era did a fantastic job. And I thought, without giving it enough credit, that the greatest wrestling match ever at WrestleMania Backlash between Edge and Randall Keith Orton was the best in their trilogy together. I'm not making this up when I say this. This isn't what they call hot takes. This isn't that if you know Mike Knox, if you don't, welcome to the Mike Knox experience, okay? Spoke with 3 X's because I'm hardcore, because I say the shit your ass won't say. Okay, and I keeps it real. I don't have no dogs in this fight because I don't know nobody that's in this fight. Okay, but this match, it was unexpected to me. I thought they couldn't do it, and they did it, and they did it very well. I mean, we're talking about 2 future Hall of Famers, Edge and Randy Orton, the greatest wrestling match ever. I absolutely loved it, 100%. My number 3 on my list.
You know what? I forget about that match. You know, we all made fun of that match going into it. I remember Unpopular Review was talking about like the greatest wrestling match ever. I think it brought out, believe it or not, top 5 greatest wrestling matches ever. But it was a very good match. It was taken away, unfortunately, and they tried so hard to build it up. They added the fans. That's when they added the NXT people around there as fans. They had Howard Finkel do the ring announcements. You know, he really tried to make that match feel special. My only gripe with the match and why it wouldn't make my top 5, even though it's still a great match, I can watch it again. It was long, but I can watch it again, is the fact that I know it was heavily edited. And that takes away from it. You know, I know it was pre-recorded.
I believe that wrestling still has, like, did you like Lucha Underground?
Yes.
Lucha Underground was cut from cuts. It was cinematic wrestling.
Yeah.
And I think, honestly, I think Sting doesn't have to do that dumb shit he's doing in AEW, jumping off the ladders on, Taker, who can't do the things no more, cinematically can last. I thought both of them, including AEW, for what it's worth, their cinematic match they had with Sting and Darby Allin them versus Hobbs and them a few years back was pretty damn good. So I thought, even though it was edited, because they had to get from one location to the next location, things like that, to me, it didn't take away from the match.
And I can't take away anything you're just saying right now, because actually, I'm actually a fan of the pandemic era. I know that's an unpopular thing to say, but I mean, I feel like they were able to do a lot more without having to be criticized, because they were able to go out there and tell stories that y'all would have crapped on in live TV or something like that. It just, even certain spots they were able to do that, right, that they couldn't do if they had a live crowd audience. And I'm just going to say it too, and then we'll move on to my number 3. But one was Bianca Belair carrying Otis, right? Otis was in plain sight behind those stairs those whole times when she was running around. She knew he was there. She could obviously see his big ass there. But it's because of the camera angle. My favorite one I'll talk about, besides the burning of the Fiend, is Dominic Mysterio getting launched by one Roman Reigns. Right?
That was amazing. That is an all-time great. That might be the top 3 goated moment of the pandemic era.
That was a great thing. And you know there was some pads there or whatever that he landed on. But they made it seem like Roman killed him. He was that inward, right? Because I don't say that word, but he was that inward when he did it. He tossed his ass and said, ah, right? It was amazing. I loved it. So I didn't buy the pandemic era. This match was good. Whether it was edited or not, and it was. Match was good.
You know what's funny? Real fast. I never even think about if stuff is edited or not. Until you said it, I just watched it.
I saw it. Well, first of all, that was when I was, I'll say, that was when Matt and I were like really, really close, right? So I used to hear a lot of stuff. And then I could just watch it and see it because I was.
No, I see it now, but I watch things with the innocence of a child.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like a dirt sheet. So sometimes you just like the magic trick. You don't want to know. You act like you want to know. But then when you know, you're like, damn. That's it.
Some shit I be wanting to know. Yeah. Fuck that. Run the tape. What's your number 3?
Number 3 is the Royal Rumble 2010. Edge defending his World Heavyweight Championship against Dolph Ziggler. This is a sleeper match that a lot of people don't know about, right? Sleeper match. It was really good storytelling. Edge was forbidden to use the spear in this match. Could not use the spear and had to face one Dolph Ziggler, who a lot of people thought was going to be the next champion. Vicky Guerrero, this was at the peak of her heat drawing. I love this match. I could watch this match over and over again. It was that good of storytelling. Referee getting knocked out, Edge putting him in a spear when the referee wakes up, Edge putting him in a prettier as a shout out to Christian. I loved everything about this match. I can watch this match any day of the week. It's a sleeper match. It's my number 3.
Listen, you have now become a general in this intelligent wrestling fan conversation with picking that match. I'm just saying that was phenomenal. AJ Styles included. Are we going honorable mentions right now first?
No, that's after 2.
Okay. So my number 2, again, trying to pick things people don't pick. If you hear me talk about, like you always say, ask me this time next year, this list it'll change. My top WrestleMania matches wouldn't change. Maybe the order, because I forgot where I put the other one at, would change. But I always say the greatest match that wasn't WrestleMania 3 between Steamboat and Savage, to me, is one of the greatest matches of all time. Only match that came close to that to me, and that speed and action of that match, was Jeff Hardy versus RVD. The first time I thought, damn, Jeff Hardy can actually wrestle. And then I saw him on a match in 2009 versus Edge. An Extreme Rules match versus Edge. And damn it, to me, match of the night. Like, I still don't like Edge at this point. I'm not an Edge head. I liked Edge when he was with Christian. And I liked Edge the most when he won the King of the Ring. And he said, fuck a crown. I'm gonna take a Stanley Cup with me everywhere. You know, that's the Edge I like. I like goofy Edge. Benefit of those in flash photography. That's why I got those shirts, right? Never been a rated R superstar Edge kind of guy, but can't hate the guy. He's entertaining as F. I didn't think these two would mash well together. And damn it, Chris, I tell you, executive consultant, they put on one hell of a goddamn match. My number 2, the ladder match at Extreme Rules between two of the greatest to ever do it in ladder matches, to be honest. So when you see this match, you're like, damn, without their partners? Okay. And I thought they delivered.
And they still made it work, which is a testament to them. Shout out to the end with CM Punk won the title from recently just won the title, Jeff Hardy. But that was a really good match, and I'm glad you picked it. I mean, Edge had a lot of good matches, man.
It's a lot to choose from.
Yeah, and it is a lot.
It's a lot to choose from.
It's a lot to choose from. My number 2, before we go to a commercial break, is another sleeper. Most people talk about the match after. The match that happened at the pay-per-view after, and it was a hair versus hair match. I actually like the first match. Backlash, 2002, won Edge versus Kurt Angle. I thought, oh my gosh, if you watch this match back, Kurt
I got
Angle,
those chalk line pants.
No disrespect to Edge because we're doing Edge's thing, but Kurt Angle is
The greatest in-ring wrestler of all time.
is. He could wrestle anybody.
The
And I'm not
greatest
saying Edge
in-ring
is a
wrestler of all
slouch.
time.
I'm not saying Edge is a slouch, but my God. At the end of this match, I swear to you, if you watch it back, humor me, right? Not Kurt Angle, but King Jerry Lawler got up and clapped, right? Jeff Ross said, "What are you doing?" He said, "Oh my God, it was great." I did the same thing. I was doing the same thing, literally, Jerry Lawler. I got up and clapped. That match was phenomenal, right? I like the Judgment Day match also, but this match here,
I almost
very
picked the
match.
Judgment Day match if it was hard to take a like. Sometimes you go through these lists. What you do is, let's be real, people. Unless you have the mind of the executive consultant, you just Google a few, right? Just to jar the memory. Not that you pick these lists, because again, that's their list, not mine. I've seen lists where I've had a top 2 be their 70. Okay, so but you want to just jar some memories loose, and I was like, oh, that's what you do after you see that. You go watch some clips about it on YouTube. This is what I do anyway. This is my study, getting ready for top 5. That y'all know that my shit be like that. Okay, and I started watching some clips from those matches, and that was better. Oh, this is why. Then you go watch the story to it, and damn it, executive consultant. That was a good one.
well, we always agree on the fact that storyline is wrestling. You know, it is. If the match doesn't have a good story, it's not going to work. You can go out there and do all the flips and the kicks and the craps you want, AW. But unless it works with the story, it's not going to do much for you. Most of the time. I've seen some, but most of the time it has to have a good story. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk some honorable mentions later on. Number ones. Stay with us. You're watching Unpopular Review.
Do you have any favorite managers? Like, is there any managers that stand out to you that's like,
Elizabeth, of course. Rest in peace.
Wow.
But what was that?
That was not it. That's what it was. Okay.
Previously on the Mike Knox Show.
But Kurt Angle has finally got on the bandwagon, right? Finally. Has Mike Knox not been saying for over 4 years? I'm going to say it again for those who are late to the program. Charlotte Flair is the greatest women's wrestler. Bianca Belair is not turning heel. Not going to happen, people. Okay? Yes, she may interfere in Charlotte's match against Asuka. However, they're going to interweave that whole entire storyline, but she's not turning heel. I'm not knocking it at all of why you stop being or giving them your love, because they don't deserve it. All right? If they still got minds, they earned it back slowly but surely. Listen, it's like cracking good pussy. All right? I just have to get some more of it. Thank you, Belt Emperor. Love those belts. Okay? But again, here's the thing. As I said earlier, they're not going to, why would they get away from something that works? I haven't never seen anybody complain about UFC titles.
Mike Knox Show every single Monday at 6 o'clock. Please make sure you tune in right here on Unpopular Review. Another good one for the intelligent wrestling fans. You go ahead and give that a watch. Let's go ahead and talk about some honorable mentions. Do you have any that you want to give out?
Boom! Right there, baby boy. Listen, Edge and John Cena last man standing match. Why did it on the list? It should be on the list. It didn't make the list. Edge and Christian, to me, I love them as a tag team. I'm a Christian fan to the most part. I have a son named Christian. Y'all put that together. No Mercy 2001. Let's do it. Oh, Eddie Guerrero versus Edge. Put on some damn bangers. This is a SmackDown match. Okay, back in 2002. All right. Then Edge and Johnson again. And listen, I know he lost the match. I know it's stack him, pin him, or but he did it. But that match still was crazy. My honorable mention for the Rated R Superstar right here again. I'll tell you guys that championship match at SummerSlam, the WrestleMania match, the triple threat match, him and Cena, just who's Cena's dance partner? Is it Edge? Is it Orton? It don't matter. They're both right there. Edge and Christian speaks for itself in a ladder match. That was great. And then Edge versus the late, great Eddie Guerrero. Those are my honorable mentions right there, my guy.
Very thorough honorable mentions. And I was wondering if we were ever going to meet with the same thing at any point in time. And I think it finally did happen. I also want to throw out the fact that I did not pick any tag team matches, but there was one I really want to pick because I think people sleep on it. and that's this one right here.
Ooh,
Triple
I didn't sleep on
Presentation
it.
WWE Tag Team Championship match. Kurt Angle and the man who shall not be named versus Edge, Rey Mysterio, and Los Guerreros. Let me tell you something. The SmackDown tournament for the Tag Team Championship was one of the best tournaments I've ever seen in any year or decade. It still stands to this day. Those three teams, any of them could have been the inaugural WWE Tag Team Champions and would have been fine with it. And it was so good. Those are actually the first three. Right?
Two of my favorite titles I still want are those tag team titles right there.
Oh, those are the best ones.
The SmackDown tag team titles are the most fire tag team belts to me as well.
Than the tag team titles in the 90s, and I always thought those were the greatest tag teams. I use Mike's line. The greatest tag team titles. They're just beautiful. They always will be beautiful. The titles now don't stand any comparison to those. But I really wanted to mention that match because it was just a great match. I could watch it again. Matter of fact, I'll probably watch it on Sunday.
Ooh.
Hell in a Cell match between The Undertaker and Edge. Speaks for itself. And it was already mentioned, so I don't have to talk too much about it. Smash them, stack them, pin them. Daniel Bryan, Edge, Roman Reigns. This was a great match at that WrestleMania. The only thing missing is Roman Reigns' real music. Me and now have a hard time watching that match because it's done. I'm like, man, it's not the Tribal Chief.
Yeah.
But great match. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll take a quick commercial break. Last commercial break. Go to number ones, and then we're done. Stay with us. Let me see some of your lists. You're watching a popular review.
Let me show you something. Okay, this is my jug of water. Right?
It's disgusting.
We'll call this Keith Lee. This little guy here is Darby Allin. Right? Now watch this. Okay, this I wasn't good in science class. I wasn't, but watch this. Okay. For all y'all,
Wait, what? What? What was that?
For all that to this, see, let's try this again. This is Darby Allin. This is Keith Lee. All right, you see how that bounced? Let's do it again. Let's do it again, right? Let's do it again. Oh, okay, right? Takes away from the match for me. All right.
Let the record show that John Silver has a clean win over Keith Lee. It can be done.
John Silver actually is,
and he's like he's a little bit beefier, but he's still a small guy.
No, the beefiness. Pause. The beefiness. Size matters.
No. Not when the discrepancy is still large. Like, you can be big, but if someone's still way bigger than you, it really doesn't matter.
Orange Cassidy, Darby Allin, the limitless one. Okay? Now watch both of them. All right, that's what should have happened. And it didn't happen.
Tell me when I'm telling lies. AEW every single Wednesday, immediately after AEW, to share Dice as well as myself. Wednesdays immediately after AEW. A lot of stuff right here on Popular Review Wrestling. Make sure that you subscribe. Number one, top 5 Edge matches. Mr. Knox, we are on you.
Well, just to recap, number 5 for me, okay, happened to be No Mercy. Christian and Edge versus the New Brood. Ladder match. Loved it. Number 4, WrestleMania 2000. That's what I'm always going to name it, okay? WrestleMania 2000. Number 3 for me, the pandemic era gets no credit or the credit it deserves. The greatest wrestling match ever. Number 2, the ladder match at Extreme Rules. Edge versus Jeff Hardy. And number 1, whether it's on anybody's list or everybody's list, I don't give a fuck. The greatest match of all time in Edge's career. No Cena, no honorable mentions. WrestleMania 24. Him and Mick Foley. Mick Foley is the GOAT of getting people over. Okay? If you want to beat somebody's ass, nobody takes an ass whooping like Mick Foley. Too much to the chagrin that he shouldn't have done it so much. He put over Triple H. He didn't need to put over Taker, but he did. And this, the Flaming Tables, Radar Superstar, people thought that Edge was soft. That was the perception of the storyline going into this match. And damn it, woo! My number one, WrestleMania 24, man. I'm sorry. The part about it is great is that I knew it was going to be great. I knew it was going to be great. It wasn't when I'm like, is it going to be? I knew it. And I think a lot of times when you have expectations as a wrestling fan, you are the biggest disappointment in wrestling. It isn't what the match may necessarily be sometimes. It's that you enjoy it for your expectations of the match. And all my expectations was met in that match. Again, my number one, WrestleMania 24, not 24, 21. 22.
In Chicago.
In Chicago.
So, believe it or not, actually, that's the first one I disagree with. I wasn't a fan of that match that much. I mean, it was a good match.
One of my
I just
all-time
think it was
favorites.
way overrated.
When I think of Edge's match,
I will say
boom.
this, Mick Foley, that's one of his favorite matches. He loves that match. But I wasn't too big of a fan. But it was a good match. Number 5 for me is Edge versus Seth freaking Rollins. Number 4 is Edge versus Triple H Great American Bash 2008. Edge versus Dolph Ziggler Royal Rumble 2011. I think I said 10 earlier. It's Royal Rumble 2011. Edge versus Kurt Angle Backlash 2002. The honorable mention. My number 1 is actually from WrestleMania 24, the real WrestleMania 24, right here in Orlando, Florida. Edge versus The Undertaker. The
Horrible
main
picture.
event for the World Heavyweight Championship. Yeah, they didn't have a good picture of that match, but that is my number 1. I just thought, once again, the storyline going into it and the match itself, I thought this was a match that should not have been the main event. I thought, of course, it was, in my opinion, at those times, those were all double main events, but I thought the headlining main event was the triple threat match between John Cena, Randy Orton, and Triple H. And it wasn't. I was trying to figure out why. At the end of that night, I understood why. Great match between those two. And in my opinion, Edge and Undertaker have never had a bad match. They had a lot of matches that year between the TLC, between the Backlash that happened in Baltimore a month later that I went to. Never
I knew that was coming.
one.
I knew the one I went to was coming.
The one I went to. I love that match too. Never had. Here's the fun fact. When you watch that Backlash, you can see me in the crowd. But anyway, never had a bad match, those two. But that was my favorite, WrestleMania 24 in Orlando, Florida. Thank you so much for watching this, the top 5. Next week, the top 5 is the top 5 superstars of 2002. Looking forward to that one. Don't have a graph for you yet, but we'll have one.
Who came up with that list?
Who
came up with that list?
That guy, Jack. So stay tuned and watch us all. Watch everything on our social media to find out when, which is next Thursday, 8 o'clock. Immediately after this, if you're a fan of entertainment, we have The Man Who Knew Too Little, Bill Murray-led movie. Interested in. You see these two guys there. So we'll be doing that in about 60 seconds. Thank you so much for watching us. We will see you right here next time on Unpopular Review. Good night, everybody.